Hello guys, this video is about the defense. So if you're getting the problem in the defense, means a lot of strong player, big key player hitting your keep, you having the problem in keeping your bubble up, you getting hit so many times, but and you trying your best in terms of the defense, but still not getting any result. You getting zeroed pretty easily, then this video is specifically for you, right? And to be specifically in this video, I'm gonna speak about the T1 defense. So even if in case you know about the T1 defense, already doing it but not getting the result, then this video is perfect for you. And even if in case you do not know about it, then this video is gonna be the extremely useful for you, right? Because after this video is gonna change everything for you. Even in the KE, even in the SVS, you can pretty easily drop your bubble and can do whatever you want and can easily bubble up again, right? And even if you forget about the bubble, still not an issue. Whoever is going to hit you, they for sure, is not gonna have the any easy way. They're gonna struggle a lot, right? So before delaying, let's get into it. Firstly, let me show you the outcome, what T1 defense I'm talking about, and what kind of the outcome you can expect from it once you have done making all the T1 defense that I'm going to show you in this particular video. Guys, firstly, before building the T1 defense, you need to know what kind of the outcome would be there. Because it's not gonna be the one day process. It's gonna take the time in building the all those T1 troops, right? So firstly, let's take a look at the outcome. What you can actually expect after building the T1 defense, right? So firstly, let's see it from over here. This 8.1 billion guy, did the rally on me, a ground troop rally, right? And this is the outcome. This is what I have lost, and this is what they have lost, right? Let's take a look at of the buffs. He's having the 1880, approximately 900% ground march, right? And he's coming up with the three players, who's joined his rally, right? And they're coming up with the ground troops, right? And I have defended simply with the very small layers from top to bottom because previous to this I already got hit couple of times, so I approximately lost all of my layers. So I only had the small layers left, and with that many the T1 troops, right? They have killed approximately all of their rally troop, and this is what I have lost, right? A pretty great outcome. Usually, with this ground march, any 1 billion 1+ billion guy, I'm pretty sure would have got zero regardless of your defense, regardless of your buff and debuff, right? Because simply you just cannot endure the that much percent ground march with the three people, the even those are the good level player, those who are in the rally, right? So now let's take a look of the more marches. Now let's take a look of this small player, and he's a 5.2 billion guy. In terms of, I mean, the buffs, he's having the 1200%, the 1253% buff range march, and this is the damage he's doing to me. Even if he hit all day, I can hardly see that he can do anything. Again, he's coming up with the range march. Now he's coming with the ground, the pretty low buff march. Hardly did anything. Hardly did anything to us. So why I'm showing it to you, because the small player you just don't need to worry about. They cannot even think about hitting you. Only the big player, that you have to little bit pay attention to. Otherwise, rest you are pretty secured with the T1 defense. If you are, actually making those defense effectively, right? 1690 range march, approximately nothing. This 11.3 billion guy with 2100 range march, right? So only the range march is what that you have to worry about. Otherwise, pretty much all the marches, just can't do anything. Not even the ground, not even the caps, not even the seats. Only the range march is what that you have to pay attention to. Let me show you guys a little more. Now here this guy initially came with his 2100 range march, 9.9 million guy in a K40 keep. This is the damage he has did it to me. Then afterwards he came with the his mounted march. Let's see his mounted march. Some of his T15 and then the T14. And afterwards he's coming up with the ground march. Right guys, the hardly the anything, right? So this is the outcome that you can expect after making the T1 defense that I'm going to show it to you how. Otherwise, many people are doing the T1 defense, but they might not be getting the same because of the mistakes what they're doing it. But I'm gonna show it to you each and everything in the most simplest term, right? How you have to do it, how you have to make it. Even let's check it out this particular report as well. They did the range rally, over my key around the 1757% range rally, 8.6 billion guy, and around the the four people the in his rally, right? And I was defending with my usual layers, no much big high tire troops, only the with the help of the T1 defense, right? And pretty easily defended the the range rally as well. But still, guys, out of all the troops, range troop is the only thing that you have to worry about. And we have to make the T1 defense setup exactly according to it as well, right? So guys, this is about the outcome part. Now let me quickly show it to you, how we have to make the T1 defense from the scratch, so that there should not be any problem for you, right? So even if in case you're not getting anything, don't worry about, just repeat the exact same stuff that I'm going to show it to you in this particular video, and you're gonna have the amazing outcome. Right now, let's get started, guys. Now guys, let's start our setup part. So firstly, we would be looking at the defense general, what we need for the defense general, and what skill book, we need to choose, over those defense general, right? So firstly guys, as we are gonna build up the lot of the T1 mounted troops, so we would be gonna need any defense general that is having the mounted buff, right? Any general you can choose it that is having the mounted buff. Suppose over here you can see it, I am choosing the coin bodica, and it is having the increase in city ground troop and the mounted troop HP by 15% and mounted troop attack by 30% when general is the main city defense general, right? And even over here the huge the mounted buffs is actually present, right? And more importantly guys, you can get the queen bodica absolutely free from the Traven as well, right? While refreshing, you can easily get the queen bodica, it comes up quite oftenly, right? So that's why I would suggest that the as a main defense general, Queen Bodica is best. If we are building the T1 defense, T1 mounted defense, right? And apart from it, I'm using the George Dewey. Initially I had this one, so I just put it him as a the assistant general. So as of now I'm using this. Even if you do not want to use this, or you can go for the any the mounted buff, the defense general. Even if not the defense general, then I think that these kind of the general will also going to work like this one, right? Over here on his skill book you can see it is mentioned the increased mounted troop attack by 25% and mounted troop HP by 40% when general is leading the army. So whenever there is this term, the leading the army, not the leading the army to attack. So in this cases, this general will also going to work, as a defense general. So if it would have been written as a leading the army to attack, then his skill book wouldn't be activated as a defense general. And apart from it, guys, you can also check it out because till right now I was using the Queen Bodica and the George Dewey, and just recently I have started using this one. So you can also check it out, regarding this particular part. Apart from it, what skill book is important, what skill book we need to put up, on these general. This is the very important part, so you need to pay attention to it. These are the absolute mandatory skill book, whether you have the T1 defense or whether you have the higher tier defense, higher tier troop defense, right? No matter whatever you have, these skill book is absolutely mandatory. And what skill book are these? These mounted troop speed. Firstly, as we're building the T1 defense, T1 mounted defense. So this is the absolute must skill book. Apart from it, ground troop speed, the absolute must. The range troop range bonus, the absolute must. And also the siege machine range bonus. Guys, these four skill book is absolutely must. You should not and must not miss any of these skill book. Even if in case you do not have the siege machine in your keep as of now, still I would say, just put it up this particular skill book, because who knows, might be in the future, you might start building up the siege as well for the siege march. So I would suggest that, let's go with these four skill book first, right? And apart from it, what I'm putting up, the mounted troop defense, because I'm making the T1 mounted defense. And apart from it, the mounted troop HP, right? And guys, if in case you're having the any difficulty in terms of the skill book, just copy paste exactly the same what I'm putting up. And apart from it, now guys, let's take a look over the gear I'm putting on my defense general, right? Firstly, this is my defense general, and all of these gear you can see the Acmeda gears, and you can easily get it, not an issue, right? So what I'm putting up here, you can see the siege machine, ground troop HP, enemy range troop HP, and here you can see I have the complete flat refines, right? You can see it, right? The flat refines, that is the out of the 1096. And guys, you need to remember one thing, that we need the flat refine, means where there is a plus sign, right? We do not need the percentage one, we need the this plus refine, the addable refines, right? 843, this number refines, right? All of these, for our T1 mounted to work properly, right? And apart from it, here you can see again, this is the gear I'm using, right? And over here again, these are the complete full mounted troop defense refine, the addition refines, right? The straight number, the not the percentage one, right? And even over here you can see this is the gear that I'm using, and again I'm doing the flat refines, right? You can see mounted to troop defense, all four flat refines, no percentage one. And even over the helmet you can see these are the flat refines, right? For the mounted troop HP, no percentage one. And even over here as well, right? And even over the ring as well, right? The mounted troop attack, and here you can see it, the flat refines, right? We're going for the flat refines, right? We not going for the percentage one, right? So these are the absolute must. And guys, you need to understand one thing. Maybe many might be saying to you that the for T1 mounted, the only the HP and the defense we needed, and over here we might can use the the siege stats or maybe the some other troop. Then guys, don't do it, by any means don't do it, otherwise you gonna face the lot of difficulties, and your T1 mounted setup might not work properly, right? For T1 mounted defense to work properly, you need all. You need the attack, you need the defense, and you need the HP. You need the all of these, right? Just understand the one simple logic, that kill the enemy as fast as possible and endure the as much damage as much as you can, right? So to endure the damage you need the defense and HP, right? And to kill the enemy as fast as possible you need the mounted troop attack. And you need to understand that the T1 is the lowest troop, right? And they are pretty low in everything, in the attack, defense, and HP. So you need the everything, right? Suppose if you have the less attack value over here, then what will happen, that automatically there would be the huge burden on the the HP and the defense part, right? And it is highly possible that the your T1 mounted might not be able to endure the attack, because your attack is so weak that it is taking the thousands year in terms of killing the enemy. So in that meanwhile, they are easily able to kill your T1 mounted, right? So attack, is definitely must, as much as you need the HP and also the defense, right? Otherwise it's just simply not going to work in the many scenarios, right? If suppose you able to kill the one or two march, that's not sufficient. You need the everything. Even the pretty good range march will take you out, even if in case you have the good defense and HP value, believe me, right? You might be able to endure the attack from the lower buff range mark, but the higher buff range mark will take you out easily. And even you might not be able to endure the attack from the ground and even from the caps as well, right? So you need the everything, right? And even regarding the choosing the part, whether you need the only this particular piece or you can choose the any other, guys, you can choose any other piece as well. Those are mounted troop attack focus, you can choose those as well, right? I go with this one. I'm going with this one because suppose if in case in future I'm building the more seeds, it would be useful. And even I'm finding the these debuff here more useful, right? So even if in case, guys, you getting the any difficulties, just implement exactly the same what I'm showing it to you now. Acmode axe for the this axe one. Over here you can see this helmet, right? And over here you can see this leg piece, right? You can see this particular ring, you can see this leg piece, and you can see this particular armor. Just implement the same, and over all of them you need the flat refine. These are the absolute mandate thing, right? And do not forget about this skill book, what I have told you. These are the absolutely mandatory thing, right? So guys, that's how you can build up your defense general firstly for the T1 defense, right? So now you know about the what you need to put it up over the defense general, right? So guys, now let's speak about the how much troops you need to make for the T1 mounted to work, right? To work actually effectively, right? So guys, firstly let me inform you that let's start with the 300 million, the mounted troops. I would say, the 300 million T1 mounted troops. This is what should be the your the first target, that I need to get the 300 million, the T1 mounted troop. And even you might start seeing the outcome even when you're having the 100 million, 115 million, 150 million, the T1 troops, but still you initially make the goal for the 300 million. Now guys, for T1 defense to work properly, let's take a look at this particular image, and exactly that's how you have to do all the layers, right? Or I mean, at least that many layers should be there within the keep for T1 defense to work properly. Or I should say, at maximum scenario, you should be at the winning position. Means in terms of the power loss, enemy should be the one who is losing the more power compared to you. So you should be having the this kind of the layering in your keep, right? So even if in case what I'm about to inform you, you getting any difficulty, then exactly do what I'm showing you in this particular picture, and you're pretty safe and you're gonna have the pretty good outcome. So firstly, let's take a look at the ground proofs. Even if in case you do not have the T14, let's exclude this particular part. You can do it from the T13, otherwise from the T14. Ground proofs, layering wise, T14, T13, 5000, you can keep it. Then T14, T12 and T11, you can do the 300,000, and the T11, 400,000. Rest below layer till T2, you can do the 100,000, and T1 as a 1 million troops for the ground, right? Now Archer is exactly the same as the ground layering. You have to do exactly the same from the T14 to T1. Now for the caps part, the till T11 you can keep the 1000 per layer, right? Then T10 to T4, you can keep it the as a 10,000 per layer. Even if you want, you can do the 1000 per layer as well, not an issue. T3, T2, 1 million troops, and T1 try to make the 300 million troops as an initial goal, right? It would be much beneficial for you if you have at least that many 300 million troops. right? And guys, right now in the game, K45 is released, so in the future you're gonna need even more than that, right? Otherwise, as of now, the K40 keep your 300 million troops, can easily endure it, right? Without any issue. So that's how, guys, you need to do it for the caps. Now for the siege, I'm showing it to you 5,000 from, top to bottom, right? And T1 1 million troops. You want, you can do the 1,000 as well, but I'm showing it to you as a 5,000, and it would be better if you can do the 5,000. And I know, guys, that you might be already having all of these troops, and most potentially in the much higher level than what I'm showing in this particular layering, right? But the reason why I'm asking you, to leave only that many troops, there is a reason behind it. Now, guys, firstly, you need to understand one thing, that once you have built a T1 defense with that many troops, 300 million troops, right, with all of this kind of the layering, basically what's going to happen that now no mid level or not even a little bit higher level people is going to hit you. Now only the absolute high level big keep, would be the one who's going to hit your keep. Otherwise, no other player in the game, would be able to hit your keep, right? Because there would not gonna be any outcome, right? Even they do the dozens of attack on your keep, they just simply not gonna do the enough damage. So the only opponent that would be left into the game, those would be the high level keeps like the K40 and all, with very high buff. So what's going to happen that, suppose if you have the lot of the T14 grounds, T13 grounds, in the millions of the troops, right? Definitely, those ground troops are pretty useful in saving your caps from the archer attack, right? But unfortunately, what will happen that if the big keep guy knows that you have the very high number of the ground troops available, what happened that he will take out all of your grounds with his small ground march, right? Or even from his small caps march. We easily take out all of your ground troops from top to bottom. And in the end, in terms of the power loss, you would be the one who is going to lose the more power compared to him, right? And now let's take the example of the siege. Siege is also pretty effective in saving your caps from the archer attack, right? But the siege works pretty effectively when they are into the quantity. So if suppose you have the lot of the T14, T13 siege available, T12 siege available, then what happens that those K40 big key people, what they're gonna do, they are gonna use these small siege marks, most potentially the T11 siege, and will gonna take out all of your siege from top to bottom, even your higher level siege as well. And the reason is why, because the buff difference is simply way huge, right? And not just the keep, even they will take out your all of your archers as well, right? Because siege after the siege hit the archers, right? So that's why you do not even keep the much higher amount of archers in your keep, right? Because what will happen that they go simply gonna use the small siege mark, your siege would be gone, and then afterwards your archer would be gone, right? And this is the reason why, guys, why I'm asking you to leave the that many troops in the T12 and the T11 and rest the 100k, because now whatever the march they use, even their smaller march they use, you're not gonna be at the losing end, right? In terms of the power loss, they would be the one. We would be always at the the winning end, right? So that's why, guys, you have to do the layering in this particular manner so that you should be at the winning position at every time. Now, apart from it, guys, there is another reason why I'm asking you why if it is about the power loss, then guys, why I'm not asking you just do the 1,000 per layer or the 5,000 per layer for all the troop types, because there is a reason for that. Guys, in the T1 defense, you have to remember the two things. And two things are what? Firstly, why I'm asking you to just put the 1 million troops over here in the cache, and why I'm asking you to put the 10,000 per layer, just to make sure whenever the enemy is coming with the archer attack, it should not be the direct hit on our big layer of the T1 cache. Those are the 300 million cache. Archers should come from the top, and then they have to go way down, right? So that our the big layer should have the ample amount of the time to hit the archer mark. And another reason is what, guys, why I'm asking that the ground troops and the archer troops should be having the that many layers, right? Having the that much troops, so that we can kill enemy small layers fastly and pretty easily, right? Suppose if we are unable to kill those big players, small layers, then what's going to happen when they would be coming with the archer march? Archer directly target the calves, but calves, has to go through the ground first, then the calves, and then afterward they hit the archers. So for our T1 defense to work effectively, what we would like to have that our ground and archer, in the initial stage, clear the enemy ground small layers and also the cap small layers. We want our archer and ground mouse to do those particular parts so that our T1 huge layer, just need to go directly to the archers and take out the enemy archers, right? So this is the reason, guys, why I'm asking you to keep the layering in this particular specific format, right? So that at every time you should be at the winning end. Now, guys, apart from it, I know many of you is already having the now lot of the troops, so that means you have to ghost your troops. So, guys, this is about the the layering part. That's how you should do it. And if you just copy paste exactly the same thing what I'm telling you right now, you're gonna have the pretty great outcome. Now, guys, let's take a look of the the debuff part. Guys, firstly, in the debuff part, let me inform you one thing that I'm using the the D's general as well. That is the the ground troop attack focus. The debuffing the ground troop attack because I take participate into the attacking as well. So that's why I was balancing my buff debuff in the each and every category for all troop types. Otherwise, if you're only going for the defense part, then just remember one thing that range debuff is the mandatory for you. So even if you're lacking the debuff in the other area, like in the ground, in the calves, or might be in the siege, not an issue, but always prefer or prioritize the range debuff first. So means what? That even over here, all the rings should be the the range troop attack, that is the minus 40%, and even over here, you should get the range troop defense debuff, and over here the range troop HP. So all three part of the range troop you should debuff thoroughly, over all of your subsidy as much as you can, and even go for the generals, that is giving the debuff that is specifically for the range troop, like this particular general, the debuffing the range troop by 30% range troop attack. So if you can get the more of these general, it would be wonderful because ground troops, calves, and the siege march, will not be much effective against the T1 keep, right? T1 defense keep. The only march that would be the dangerous for you would be the archer march if you implementing the T1 defense in the right order, what I have informed you. So guys, this is it just regarding the debuff part that you should be focused on the the range troop debuff. Unfortunately, I only have the 6 subsidies. If you have the more, it would be the pretty wonderful for you. You would be able to defend pretty easily, right? So yeah, thanks guys. So this is it for this particular video. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Yeah, thanks for watching guys. Thank you.